This is Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 4th meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Need to order. It's 4:30. Okay. So, it's 4:30. This is the regular monthly meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. And I'm calling this meeting to order. And if we could go ahead with roll call, that would be great.
Albertine Allen. Sojourner Atwater. Present. Dennis Carroll.
Present.
Marty Corley. Bunny Demke. Diana Gore. Here. Melody Haynes. Present. Judy Lang. Present. Nancy Moldenauer. Here. Mary Ellen Quinn. Here. Tyra Robinson Walker. Here. And we do have.
Thank you very much. Okay, unfortunately, the minutes weren't attached to the announcement for the meeting, so if all of us would just take a minute or two to please look over these now, and then after we've done that, we go ahead and vote on those, okay? What is it? If you would look up when you're done, I would appreciate that. Okay, are there any corrections for the minutes? Okay, would somebody make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted? Judy, thank you for making the first motion. Who'll second that? Melody, thank you for seconding. Everybody in favor, would you please raise your hand and say aye?
Aye.
Okay, anybody opposed? Okay, minutes acceptance passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And Tatanisha, thank you for putting those together as our interim director.
I'm sorry they were so late, everybody.
It's okay, things happen. Finance report?
There was no change, no activity in September, so the beginning balance of September was $1,336.83, and the ending balance is $1,336.83.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is appropriate now or not, but I have the bill for the disability awareness card, and the amount is lower than what was here, so who do I work that out with, Tatanisha?
We already voted on paying that, am I correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
so I can just submit
So you'll
it.
just need to submit that to
Okay.
Tatanisha, and then she'll work with the comptroller's office here to get the check cut.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody, again, thank you for coordinating the disability ones activities. I thought they were really great.
Oh, good. We have money left over, so we'll have to do something else.
There's always next year, right? Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to, I was gonna ask if anybody had any questions regarding the finance report?
I'd like to add one thing. If you would look at the actual checks for the scholarship winners, one says pending and the one has a check number behind it. So that means that we have already sent one check to the Judy Huber scholarship winner, and we're still working with the winner of the Hawkins Williams Educational Scholarship. In order to receive their scholarships, I have to have them fill out a tax form where they can be put into the city system as a vendor. And since they both are at school, then it's been kind of U.S. mail or scanning back and forth. So once I get his form filled out and I put him into the system as a vendor, then I'll be able to process him as in our accounts payable system for the city.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, thank you, and thanks for keeping on that. I know it's been an issue the last couple of years because we haven't had our banquet,
Right.
which is where we usually take care of all of that, and then the key check issue right up from there. So, thank you all very much for your patience on that. Okay, next up, do I get a motion for the acceptance of that?
I'll make a motion to accept. Second.
Marielle, thank you for making the initial motion, the first motion, and Judy, thank you for seconding that. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, anybody opposed? Okay, thank you. Interim Executive Director report?
The only thing I have this evening would be, and I sent the email, I forwarded the email to everybody, so if you go home, it'll probably be in your email listing once you get there, but it was information about the consortium meeting, which will be, it's going to be in South Bend at the Century Center, November 1st through November 4th. And there's a list of prices. If you're a consortium member, which you all are, your price is $200 for the entire event. They also offer single day admissions for $85 and half day admissions, and then they also have dollar amounts for just luncheon and for dinner. So if that's something that you're all interested in, I'm in contact now with our controller just to make sure that you can utilize the Human Rights Department's travel and expense fund for that. And I think that in the past that's been allowed, so I just wanted to double check that. So if that's something that you're interested in, then let me know and I can figure out how we can do that. And I think the speaker, one of the main speakers, is going to be Iyasa. It's not Muhammad, I'm sorry. One of Malcolm X's daughters is going to be the featured speaker. So I think that might be something that, it's only South Bend. We don't have to make hotel reservations or accommodations for. We can just drive there. Mm-hmm. So if anyone is interested, let me know, and then I can go about and see what the exact process is for getting. And it may have to be you pay for it and then submit the money information for reimbursement to me. I think that's how it has been in the past.
Do you have her date yet?
No, I don't. I've been trying to figure that out, but 'cause I was even trying to figure out, like, for each day what the class offers are gonna be, because I do plan on attending at least one day.
Right.
But they don't have it out yet, but as soon as I find out, I'll email the information and forward it to everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I know that Larry and Diana both have recommended attending that particular event because it's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and also it's a great, it's a good time to actually network with other people, throughout the state that are doing what we're doing. So I encourage anybody that would like to do that, to do that, okay? Larry or Diane, did you want to share anything about?
No, just I agree with that. It's a good time to meet other commissioners and see what kind of problems they have and how they're doing. I guess Diane and I went to the one in Indianapolis a few years ago, but the one in South Bend, the last one in South Bend, and it's been a few years before that, they did a nice job. So it was a nice job that they put on. There's usually several tracks of education, commissioner track, and then other track for attorneys and so forth. So, yeah, I know it's tough, and I don't know how many days I would be able to go. I have to look at the calendar, but it's at least maybe one day, try to go, maybe go for the dinner or something. It's always a nice event, and it's not a far drive.
It's not, and a number of people are actually going from Michigan City. I think the opportunity to carpool would be available also, okay?
And the keynote speaker, which will be on Thursday night at the awards, is Miss Ayasa Shabazz. And so she'll be there for the Thursday night dinner.
Okay, great. Thanks for looking at it. I'll talk to Michelle. Okay, next up is our staff attorney report. Larry?
The only thing I have down here is our bylaws call for election of officers at the December meeting. So as this is already October, the next time we're meeting is going to be November. So we probably need a committee to contact people. Either the executive committee can do that, or we can have a special committee appointed to contact people to see if we can get a slate of candidates. We need a chairperson, a vice chair, a treasurer, and we need 2 additional members who are not one of those 3 to be on the executive committee, and we need social status representative. So in total, 6 people will be nominated and voted on, hopefully in December. So however the chair wishes to proceed.
How would the commission like to proceed? Would you like for us to have a nominating committee?
I like the nominating committee. I think it's always been effective in getting a burst of people and freshening people as well.
Okay. So then the next question is, who would volunteer to be on the nominating committee? Okay, Dennis? I think we need probably at least 3 people. So Jordan, okay. Anybody else? And as Larry always used to point out, if you're on the committee, you for sure don't have to be nominated for any of the offices. That's his joke. That's Jeffers every year. Diana, do you want to do it? Okay. So our nominating committee is Dennis, Sojourner, and Diana. Thank you so very much for volunteering. And I think all of you can expect to be contacted by them. Okay, great.
So hopefully we'll get a report at the next monthly meeting.
No, we will get a report at the next meeting, because if we don't get a report, then we are nominating from the floor, and you never know what can happen in that situation.
Let's just remember that when we do have an election, we have to have a roll call vote and no secret election, so
Yes.
it'll be known to all.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's all that I have.
Okay. And then, We're moving down to our committee reports. Executive committee. I guess that what I have to report is our two top candidates have turned down the offer that we made for the executive director. So in touching base with Tatanisha this afternoon, that means a reposting, that means more interviews, and then it means selection. So we're getting really good at this. So be proud of yourselves, executive committee. Okay. And as my grandmother always said, the third time is a charm. So that's what I'm going to live by for this. Okay, Bunny?
Nancy, is there a procedural reason for doing that, or we wouldn't want to go to numbers 3 or 4?
We don't have number 3 or 4, if you remember.
We didn't submit it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
did, but
We don't have number 3 or 4, so. Okay, any other questions about that? I think we're on the right track, okay, and sometimes it just takes a while, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm in for the long haul, and I do believe the other executive committee members are, and we'll just keep at it, okay?
Yeah, I just comment that there would be nothing wrong with going back to someone who's already applied, or seeing new candidates. Anything can be done by the committee. And I would just like to comment that one person of the two that we put up for the position had already accepted another position. So one person did turn us down, the other person, because there's been a several month delay, already accepted another position.
So nothing we do.
Right.
Okay, great. Anything else from executive committee members? Okay. Going on to the development / fundraising committee?
We have nothing. We are going to have a meeting though, and put our heads together. So, not sure when that is. I have to get in contact with the other person. Just very busy.
Is that with Maureen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And I also want to issue an invitation to anybody that's here that you may actually join in the fun.
Sure.
With Melody and Marty, because they're fun people, and they've been coming up with fun events. So, or if you have any ideas, certainly, send them to Melody. And as I said, either at our last or our previous commission meeting, we need to be raising at least minimally $200 a month, and that's just to cover our scholarships,
Sure.
okay? That does not even begin to cover the expense for the prizes for Black History Month. So if we look at it and adjust it, we're probably looking at $300, $400 per month, and I'm just being realistic about it, And if we don't raise the funds, then we're gonna have to make some hard decisions about what's going to be funded or not funded in 2023. And I hope we won't have to have that conversation, because I think what we do is extremely valuable and extremely supportive of individuals and groups within our community. Okay, so hopefully that's the last time I'll need to say that. And please, if anybody wants to play with Melody and Corey, please volunteer, okay? Okay, Education Committee, I don't think we have anything for that. We don't even have a chair for that. And then the Community Engagement Committee, which is the Special Education Department, and disability activities come under that. And Bunny, did you have anything else that you wanted to share about that?
Well, yes, I have 2 pictures of it. My husband assembled it. So maybe if you want to,
Just pass
One's
it
the
around.
other one this way.
all right. Yeah. One picture's better than the other. That's all. 2, because and you can see why it cost as much as it did. It's it's got tires that can be the real tires, and
Very
it's
nice.
easy to pull, et cetera, et cetera. So Stacy, I asked her for where it was going. She said it's going to Knapp School. There are 3 schools that have pre-K programs, Knapp, pre-K special ed programs, Knapp, Springfield, and I don't remember the other one. And I asked her if nobody cared, if one of those schools Fran Oberly had taught at, it might be nice since Stephanie had donated the money. I mean, Stephanie didn't ask that, but I just suggested.
That would be lovely.
Fran taught at Neiman Elementary School.
Yeah, she did.
She did, because I was her long-term sub for a number of months. Yeah.
But anyway, Stacy got back to me just today and said that I asked if we could kind of have sort of a presentation in case Stephanie wanted to come or, to put a little publicity for the Human Rights Commission. And yeah, I think that's
Adorable, isn't it? Cute.
Yeah. So she said that either October 11th or October 13th at 1 o'clock, one of those dates. We have to confirm that, so I'm going to ask Stephanie if she is able to make either one. And then I guess I'll just let Tatanisha know if anyone else wants to come. I don't think it's a big deal, but
Did you have a time on that?
1 o'clock,
Oh, 1 p.m., I'm
either
sorry.
the 11th or the 13th.
Yeah, you did.
And-
say that.
She said that she's included in that notice about the meeting, the pre-K teacher and principal at Knapp Elementary, and Jessica O'Brien, who is the multimedia communication specialist. So maybe we'll get a little goodwill or whatever out of that.
Yeah, and if we could take some digital pictures also,
Yes,
then either Tatanisha or I can get those up on our Human Rights Commission
okay,
Facebook page also.
okay. So I will return next month with a report on the
Okay, great.
presentation.
Okay, that's great. Go ahead.
And first, I don't know why, because I went to the same website to order where Stacy had recommended, but instead of $734 that we had budgeted, $784.26, the only 2 invoices I've received so far are for $574, so we're going to have a couple of $100 extra.
Okay, great.
Wow. If I get another bill, I'll submit it, but so far, this is all, and I've paid it already, so.
Love to hear about cost savings, that's great. Okay,
That's it.
awesome. Any questions or comments for Bonnie?
It's great. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
Well, yes, you
You
did.
did.
Yeah, you just did.
Listen, my husband grumbled a little bit when I was building it, because it wasn't quite to his standards, so he had to make it perfect. He's that way.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank your husband.
Yeah,
too.
I will.
Please do that. Okay, we're down to old business. Does anybody have any old business?
Well, I don't know if mine is old business, but it does fall under, community engagement. It's in reference
Oh,
to
okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay, it's in reference to the Martin Luther King event that we have annually. Unfortunately, I know I mentioned, a few months ago that the lady that normally is in charge of this particular program over at PNW, Laura Odom, has been transferred into a different position. Myself and a few of the other committee members were to be informed of who that new contact person is. We've still been reaching out and we still have not heard on the status of what that looks like. So therefore, we have not been in the planning stage for our annual Martin Luther King breakfast that not only do we participate as a community, but contribute to as a commission. So just putting that out there, maybe we could look at partnering with some local agencies and organizations that are doing things within the Michigan City limits to be able to maybe continue to support this initiative. This is a very important initiative and history within our commission. So those are my thoughts. I mean, if anybody has any thoughts and know of any organizations that are doing anything, I would like to definitely know that so I can get with Mary Ellen and maybe we could connect with that person.
I'm thinking Marty Corley and Faye Moore have been the ones who have actively coordinated what's happening in Michigan City
Yeah, they
in
do
February
with the NAACP.
with the NAACP.
I thought that Marty and Faith,
There's this Black History stuff.
okay,
And that's for, but for January, for Martin Luther King, if there's an organization or a committee that's
I'm
doing
off a
something in
month.
January.
I'm off a month, okay. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if someone could just text me, email me, let me know, then me and Mary Ellen could probably try to see what we can collaborate.
and just, it's kind of ironic because I don't know if many people know this, but the actual concept of the celebration breakfast began in the Human Rights Department.
Yes, it
It
did.
began in the very first one, it was began by the Human Rights Commissioners
And
and
it
staff.
outgrew it.
And it just expanded so much, and that's how PNC ended up with it eventually. But the very first one, the very start of it began in the Human Rights Department.
I remember that first one.
Okay, it's come full circle.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Tyra. If anybody has any ideas, as she requested, please, let her or Mary Ellen.
Yes, we will work on it.
Okay, thank you, thank both of you very much for that. Okay, old business? Okay, so we don't have any. Okay, new business? Commissioner comments? Okay. Public comments? Does the public have any comments? Last chance for the public to make any comments. And we're down to adjournment. Before we do that, I wanted to be sure that everybody's had the chance to cover anything that they thought needed to be covered. Okay, can somebody make a motion to adjourn, please?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Pastor Carol, thank you. And then Bonnie, thank you for seconding that. Everybody who's in favor, would you please raise your hand and say aye? Aye. Okay, anybody in disagreement? Okay, it's a wrap at 4:58.
So, you can see that